Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is another Ooowee Chronicle. And tonight we've got Matthew James coming on. The singer, the songwriter, the producer, all that, and in such a dynamic pianist is a rarity. And he'll be coming on shortly, and we'll get started on this. Uh-oh, here he comes. Uh-oh. Let's bring the heat. Matthew, are you coming? There you are, Matthew.
So, hey, how you feeling?
I'm feeling a little bit better. Had a couple of cigarettes. Talked to some folks. Got some things in the works,
There
and
we
uh,
go.
and I get to see Matthew James, one of the best pianists I have ever heard.
I
How
appreciate.
how are you?
I'm chilling. I'm chilling. I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm. Whew, you get ready for the ooh wee.
Yeah.
All right. So if you've never seen the show, we start
No.
off.
Huh?
Have you seen the show yet?
I have not. No, I have not.
Well, prepare yourself.
All right. I'm prepared.
All right. So usually we start the show with mundane facts.
All
But
right.
first, we're going to get into your list of accolades. This is 1 hour, not the mundane facts, but the whole thing. And we are getting ready to go. So for those of you tuning in, ooh wee, Matthew, can I get an ooh wee?
Ooh wee.
There we go. So
Yeah.
energetic.
All right. I feel like I half-assed mine.
That's
Hold
okay.
up.
That's what I'm
All
known
right.
to do. So
Fair enough.
you are Matthew James. You
Yes,
were
sir.
born in Morocco, brought up there. This is interesting about you. You are Norwegian American African American mix.
Yeah, quite a mix, right?
Why? I didn't really know what to think of that, but okay.
It's such a dynamic range. My mom, she's from Morocco. My dad, he's Norwegian American, and it's just like what a blend.
What a blend indeed, sir. So
Uh,
you came out of Minneapolis, and we'll get into that. Singer, songwriter, record producer, and a pro pianist. Currently in L.A.
I appreciate. Yeah, correct,
Excellent, excellent. Age 6, you started playing the piano.
correct. Yeah, age 6. My parents, they said it's either sports or it's an instrument, and I couldn't catch a ball for the life of me. So I was like, that decision made pretty easily.
I couldn't play the trumpet. I swallowed the juice. McNally Smith, St. Paul, 2014 graduating class.
Yeah,
Worked with Common Cassettes.
common cassettes.
Yep.
Working in. Yeah,
Okay. You signed to Pledge Empire Records out of Minneapolis.
correct.
Okay. And you've worked with Ced Linus, CeeLo Reel, and Prince Carlton, to name a few.
Yep, correct.
Excellent. And you won the Best R&B Artist in Twin Cities Urban Music Award.
I was nominated for it.
Nominated.
I didn't personally, yeah, no,
And
but
you
I
won't,
was
and you
nominated.
won't go over that. All right.
Just,
That
uh,
that that's okay. It's just an honor to be nominated. I've never had that happen. Jamaica Bennett and PP Ardenia. You've worked with those folks.
yeah. Jamesia Bennett, she's incredible. I still keep in touch with her.
Sorry.
He was a co-writer for Janet Jackson way back in the day.
Oh.
Uh, and then he sang on The Sound of Blackness, way back to her daughter. Uh, why did I space her name? But she was back. Just her genes are just incredible.
Awesome. Awesome. Um, 2016, you moved to LA.
Correct.
You are known as a huge LGBTQ advocacy person.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, you are known for that, my friend. Your song right now on YouTube, phenomenal song. Um, it is no secret. I write when you do a live. I just tune it in and I start writing.
That
Um,
made me when I found that out. I was like, "Yo, this is awesome stuff."
oh yeah, man. I always do that. I tuned it in the other night. You did the Darth Vader, and then you couldn't do the Shawshank. We got to learn the Shawshank. I think somebody got a little mad about that, but that's okay.
Yeah, Oh, good. I'll make it up for them.
All right. You're known for anti-suicide prevention within the LGBT community. That's pretty much what I know you for.
Thank you.
Yeah. If you haven't had a chance to check out right now, wonderful song on YouTube. I know some of the most famous LGBTQ chorus members in Los Angeles were in that video.
Hmm.
So that was pretty cool. Are you ready for mundane facts?
I am ready for mundane facts.
You know where
Should I be?
these are mundane facts from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Let's see how you know your city.
All right, let's do it.
Minnesota is colder than Chicago. Did you know that?
Yes.
Okay. Most delicious apple ever has been made in Minneapolis. Are you aware of that?
Is it the caramel apple from the state fair? I would imagine. I would imagine.
I'm not sure.
I can only think it's probably that. That's the only time like a hype about apples in Minneapolis.
You are known to have the Mall of America, formerly the largest mall in the world.
Yeah, I used to work in the Mall of America way back in the day. Yeah.
Nice. All right. Peanuts creator Charles Schultz was born there. Were you familiar with Charles?
Yeah, so actually in the Mall of America, they have the amusement park right in the center. I'm not sure if you've ever been, but it used to be Camp Snoopy. It was all about the peanut gallery, everything, and then Nickelodeon happened, but Nickelodeon came in. Now it's all Nickelodeon, whatever.
Oh, okay. So they bumped him.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
but yeah, Snoopy and the gang is definitely part of my top.
Excellent. I got a zinger for you. I'm pretty sure you didn't know this. Holy Cow was authored by Halsey Hall of Minneapolis.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's why we call him the mundane. Ooowee.
Yeah.
Here's another one. Brain melter. 10,000 cyclists every day in Minneapolis ride.
Oh, I did not know that. That explains a lot, though.
Okay.
Because I went back probably 2 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago, and I just remember I'm like, I don't remember seeing this many cyclists.
Yeah, I saw you at the bar with your buddies.
Yeah.
I'm not a stalker, Matthew.
Huh?
I'm not a stalker. I just.
Don't worry. You
okay.
just support.
I love it. You have the largest sculpture at the Minneapolis Institute of Art at 640 pounds of jade. Are you familiar with this?
Not familiar with that.
Mundane, baby, mundane. Most golfers per capita in the country.
I would believe that. I would believe that.
All right.
There's not much to do there.
Okay.
So like, someone's got to do something. So.
All right. Sound 80 was the first commercially released digital audio out of Minneapolis.
Sound 80.
Sound 80. Call your folks.
Yeah, I'm gonna write that one down. Sound 80. I need to know the most commercially. What? Remind me again.
That was the commercially released digital audio, the very first in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool. So there's no surprise here. Prince is your call to fame there in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
R.I.P. St. Anthony Falls is the only real waterfall spanning the Mississippi River.
I've been to St. Anthony Falls. I did not know that though.
Mundane, baby.
Dang.
You guys created Betty Crocker and Pillsbury.
I knew about Pillsbury. I did not know Betty Crocker. That's some bragging rights right there.
There it is. Betty Crocker, Minneapolis, born and bred.
Yep.
This will be a quiz when you go to your next party. Cheerleading was invented in 1898 at the University of Minneapolis.
Hey, I did not know that. Cheerleading alone. Yo, you just giving me more hype for my hometown. I'm here
exactly.
For it.
And the final, coup de grace, until recently. You are in the Guinness Book of World Records for the quietest place on earth.
Oh, really? That explains a lot.
Google.
Is it still?
Probably not anymore, Matthew. Not with all the craziness. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, because I remember they had a sound booth there that was no, and but I feel like there's so many duplicates of that sound booth now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When you
yeah.
go back home, this is a bar question for everybody you're hanging out with. Okay.
That's it. I'm gonna have to like literally, like even the Sound 80, the Pillsbury, everything.
My pen ran out of ink. There's so much going on there. I didn't think there was anything going on there. I said, let me do mundane because Minneapolis, nothing going on. Bullshit.
No, literally, it's one of those things. It's like I feel like a lot of the stuff that goes on happens within Minneapolis, but anything outside of the city, it's like don't even count on stuff going down, right? And so, yeah,
Well, I will be up there because the narrator of Firelands, H.S. Fox Hill, my book, my audio for my fantasy is done. None other than Don't You Know in Minneapolis.
really. Hey, have you been before?
I have not, but when HS gets it done for me, she's huge in the LBGTQ there, and I think she's one of the closest friends with the King of Drag of Minneapolis.
King of Drag.
Whatever
Hey,
that means. I don't even know what that means, but
dude, that's awesome.
yes. So I
Yeah,
will be taking a trip, try to correspond it with you and some of the others, and we'll all get together and have a good time.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, let me know when you're up there.
All right, I definitely will. Are you ready for the 11 rapid fire ooh-wee questions, and then we get into your background and what you've got going on?
I am all ready for it. Whenever you are.
Here we go. Favorite flower?
Ooh,
Yes, they get harder, Matthew.
I would say rose.
White, black, yellow, or red?
Red.
Red. Okay.
Yes.
If you were to climb Mount Everest, you are known as a singer. This is usually a writing question. I'm going outside the box for you.
All right.
What song would you sing the whole way on repeat? With whom would you climb and just sing the entire way? You have a portable piano, okay, and you are
Oh,
scaling. And
got it.
what song would you be singing on repeat? Your songs, not anybody else's. Your song all the way to the mountaintop.
Oh man. So is the question what song I would sing or who would I be singing it with all the way up?
All the way up with the person, your song. I'm going so me, but that's okay. You do what you need to do.
Ooh. I'm trying to think. I mean, if I could go if I could go all the way up and sing my song with anyone, it would be. Can it be? Does that? Can the person be like deceased?
No, they're your friend. It could
No,
be
they're.
some. It could be somebody from Minneapolis. Who's going?
Oh, yeah. Oh man, then I'd definitely bring my buddy Louie.
Louie's going.
Yeah, he's more of a rapper, but like he can definitely. Yeah, he can sing a tune.
Okay, you can tell Louie. Here's the thing about Mount Everest. A lot of people don't know. A lot of death on Mount Everest. I've done some research. There seems to be man-eating goats up there. So
Oh,
hopefully you can get them dancing up the mountain, or they're going to eat Louie and you can run.
it's all good. It's all good. I
Okay.
mean, I'm the type of dude that would take over the team.
Okay. There you go. All right. Living in Minneapolis, I have to ask this. I'm from upstate New York. What is your favorite casserole dish?
Casserole dish. Oh man, you're gonna hate me. I honestly don't think I've ever had casserole.
You
Crazy.
call yourself a Yank.
I know, right?
You better claim
Right?
LA.
I don't think I've ever had a casserole. I'm like thinking, I'm like, have I? I don't think I have. There's a lot missing out in the eating game. Yeah, because like I'm vegetarian, but like it's not like that picky though.
Is a potato vegetarian?
Huh?
Is a potato a vegetarian?
Yes, absolutely.
Then I qualify. Okay. Favorite food?
Favorite food? Oh man. This is gonna kind of contradict my vegetarian thing, but my favorite food always will be boneless buffalo wings. Always, 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 always. I love meat, but just I stopped eating it for the longest time. But yeah. Outside of that, oh man, outside of that, cheesecake, cheese,
Cheesecake. That's probably
cheesecake.
got to ruin the voice. Um, you know,
Nothing.
Framing Anthony asked no tater tot dish. I was going with tater tot dish, Framing Anthony, but he let us both down on that one.
I would. Hey, I would. I'm the type of person where you could cook something up and be like, "Let's eat it." But Tater Tot ditched this song bomb.
Great, great.
Yeah.
I'm disappointed, Matthew. You have disappointed me.
I'll redeem myself.
Favorite song?
Ooh, favorite song, Man in the Mirror by Michael Jackson.
Okay. Favorite singer?
Ooh, Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. I know when you did Lizzie's, you had a picture of him in the background.
Oh, yes, I actually, where did it go? Oh, it's right. I was cleaning up my place, but yeah, I have my little vinyl.
There it is. Got the vinyl. Do you scratch or do you just listen?
I just listen.
Okay, you don't scratch. Okay. All right. I'm with it.
I could scratch. I'm like, yeah.
Favorite spot to party in LA and then Minneapolis?
Oh man, favorite spot to party in LA? Anywhere in West Hollywood definitely would be my go-to. In Minneapolis, there's this bar called the Saloon, and it's a very, very whatever LGBTQ open gay bar, but like it's known as like the hot spot. Other than that, there's also another club called the Gay Night in Minneapolis, which was my old stomping ground. So I think if I had to go back to party there, it'd be one of those two venues. Only because, and then outside of those two, definitely would be First Avenue, Prince's venue.
Any partying in Chicago?
I've yet to go to Chicago, which I'm like, it's on the list.
Yeah, well, Boys Town is a wonderful area in Halstead.
That's what I only heard good things.
Yes, well, unless when I was there 20 plus years ago, I got my ass kicked and thrown out of a bar.
Oh shit!
Yeah, we'll get into that though.
Hey, I need to hear that story.
Well, there's quite a few. Welcome to the Chronicles, baby. And this is my King of the North blanket that I have. So you should get one of these on Amazon. It's very relaxing after a hard day.
Love that.
Excellent. So you have I asked more than rapid fire. Now the question I have for you, and we're going to ask some of your supporters are obviously on here having a good time. Matthew, if you could save Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny in a raging inferno with a piano, who would you save?
Ooh, Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, really? You're not going with the Easter Bunny?
I ain't going for the Easter Bunny. No, I'm going for Santa Claus. He gives. I feel like when it comes to the gift games, definitely Santa Claus kind of steps up.
My supporter asked, do you have any bar stories where you aren't getting your ass kicked and thrown out? No.
That's how you know you had a good time, though.
That's definitely how you had a good time.
Yeah.
So, excellent. You have answered all the 11 rapid fire Ooowee questions.
Woo!
We are at 18 minutes. I apologize for all that, but these people tuned in to hear interesting facts about Matthew James. So, let us begin. You are you had me hooked with Right Now. I think that's probably one of the best songs that I've heard in a very long time. Very well done. And let's talk about that. I think there was some background that maybe some folks don't know that are tuning in that has to do with your sexuality and those type of things that are coming out. So do you want to talk about that?
Yeah. So to give you kind of like the Cliff Note version of how Right Now kind of came about, growing up, most of my life was in Morocco, and then or in the Midwest. And being gay in your early teens or late teens wasn't really a thing, either when it comes to family or when it comes to like friends groups or even like my peers at school. So one thing that I've actually recently noticed myself is that I'm very fortunate to be able to adapt to certain whatever scenarios. If I'm not supposed to come out, or whatever, cool. I can like no problem, no internal hurt, no chilling. But when I moved out to LA, end of 2015, early 2016, I remember going to a party and hearing the story about the kid who had a very similar background to me, but he wasn't happy. Me, I pivot my mindset to not replicate happiness, but find value in every day. Right? As of this kid was, kicked out of home, X, Y, and Z, bullied in school, can't talk to parents, all here all alone, X, Y, and Z, and it's just like, I'm like, the story about this kid, and long story short, friend story ended the whole story with and I tried following up. The kid killed himself, and when he told that story, I was immediately hit. And that would have had to been February of 2016. The only reason I remember that, I went to my mentor at the time. This is 2 months later, so April-ish, and we're talking, and for some reason that story was resonating in my mind on and off for the last 2 months. And I just sat down crying, and I am like the thing. And around the same time, who either are with HIV and they're feeling, or they're being one dad, and so it was a lot of emotional trauma. Like these people are and suffering in all ways and forms. It's not just LGBT, but I'm noticing the amount of suffering going on around me and then outside of, and I'm just thinking to myself, I'm like, holy hell, why am I being able to live day by day, smiling and having a good life, but this kid is going through just as much as me as able to, right? And so the song, when it comes down to it, was focused primarily on that aspect, on being able. I remember the other really kind of bugged me was this individual wasn't accepted by mom, accepted by his school, accepted by like his peers, but also wasn't accepted by his community. And that was the part where I really, really heartbroken. Is dang, like a lot of people in the community go through that, and the fact that turning people down within the community was so bothering to me. And so I think it was a mix of like self confusion, self guilt, also like pain for people in their lives, and it all kind of revolved to your project of right now. You know, West Coast singer. That was also a huge, huge benefit and such a blessing, because I had a separate budget set aside for high school. And next thing you know, I reach out to this course, and they're like, "We'll do it for free. We'll volunteer our time." They came in the studio for 8 hours on the spot and learned the song. And there, like no music, nothing. We're like, here's harmonies, let's do it, right? And they came through because they messaged that. It was like that was the why, right? Is just seeing people in the community get together. Like we've all suffered through this. We have all gone through it in different ways. Some people there never. They're like, I was accepted by mom and dad. I was accepted by, but they're like, this is messed up, and I want to be part of a change. And I think that was the most experience about what right now is me, right? And my biggest thing with this song is I want to be ambiguous. I want it to touch everybody suffering suicide or thought suicide, or maybe they lost a loved one, maybe they're going through a hard time. But a big emphasis towards our LGBTQ youth, because there's still a lot of kids who are not being accepted by mom and dad, that are being in straight camps, that are being beaten, are being abused, especially in our trans community. So anything that I could do as to help leverage that amount of awareness. I mean, if this song can save one life, the 2 years of hell making the song is totally worth it. So, and that's
and I know you're bringing the light in the darkness, and and that's what this platform's all about. It's all about positively. And anybody that's in the community wants to talk, wants to showcase, independent artists, anybody in the LA area, there's a link in my bio, and they can go right to the contact form and fill it out, and we'll get them on the show.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
No problem.
Yeah.
I know I saw you teaching today on your TV, and young person was trying to find the chord. I couldn't find a tune in a bucket with a briar patch. but we all have special talent. So, my talent is killing a lot of characters. So, um, in your opinion, do you think that where we're at right now, do you think there's a lot more exposure that maybe in a positive light of acceptance versus 20 years ago when I was in high school, you didn't talk about it. That wasn't something you did.
Tremendously. Yeah, I think social media and the culture behind social media has played a big, 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 big impact. And to the point where we're seeing generations be separated because of how much media has been in certain generations too. But yeah, no, the the amount of exposure just in the grand queer LGBT, but just in the grand scheme of things, I think there it has its. And I think in the good side of things, it's raising awareness, showing acceptance, showing kindness towards one another, showing love. The other end, we have the evils of society, and and showcasing that, but trying to be good out. Like, look at the George Floyd scenario that happened a few months ago in Minneapolis. It's like that was so tailored towards look at what's going on. This is the ugliness of what's going on in the world, but if it's done correctly, we can create something beautiful and positive and empowering out of this, and make sure, yeah, this man that died out of X, Y, and Z, we can turn around and say, hey, we can raise awareness towards everything else based on the ugliness of what this man suffered, right? And I think it's a double-edged sword when it comes to how much exposure is being made in social media. And I think it comes down to what extent do we start exposing? And that's my biggest, I think my biggest fear is I'm here for the raising awareness, raising whatever, showing love. If you cut someone off in the street, I don't want someone to be videotaping me every, like, whatever. So I think it comes down to being able to know when we need to show the realities of the world, how we can make the world a better place by raising awareness that way.
And I was a flight attendant before 9/11,
Uh,
and it wasn't it was a different dynamic back then.
I can imagine it was probably a lot more carefree, huh?
Yeah, it was definitely different. If my friends on an overnight were going to a different club, I'd go with them, but it was always head on a swivel because we went to places that deep south that you kept in a group.
Yeah,
And then I got in a fight, in Boys Town. It wasn't with anybody. It was with a machine. What happened was they had the pull thing, and it ripped me off. And
oh, the slot
yeah,
thing?
yeah, yeah, it ripped me off. So I punched it, and
Yeah.
and I broke my finger. And then the bouncer came up and he's like, "Yeah, we're not going to tolerate that behavior." And I looked at him and I was like, "Well, you and this machine, man." And he picked me up by the back of my pants and by my neck, and he opened the door with my head.
Oh, dang.
And I rolled out, and I'm staring up the sky in Boys Town going, where in the fuck am I? And then
Yeah,
somebody comes up, and they're like, yeah, I think you in the wrong place, squirrel. And I was like, well, I was just drinking. I don't know where the hell I am. So they
yeah.
helped me onto the bus, and they're like, get the hell out of here. And I was like, oh, okay, because, nobody really wants anybody beating up anything, So, I did dumb shit like that. Anyway, moving on.
Hey, we live and we I want to say we live and we learn, but we live and we get to share memories like that.
Yeah, I have no desire ever to go to LA, so we'll meet in Minneapolis.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Yeah, you're not missing out on much.
now, Lizzie's been trying to talk me into coming out there, and I was like, Corona mean anything to you?
Yeah.
I would love to hang out with her. I've got some really good writing friends that are out there. But right now we're pretty. It's getting pretty bad over here. People aren't required to wear masks, so people are just walking around, willy nilly. Some of the stores have stopped people from coming in, but not enough.
Where are
Uh,
you based out of again?
I'm in Hampton, Virginia, the 757.
Love it. Love
Yeah.
it. Love it. I actually almost ended up playing a show. It's not in Virginia, but it was in South Carolina, which is closer to you than I am to South Carolina.
There's
So,
actually quite a huge LGBTQ community here in Norfolk,
for real,
and you could definitely book quite a few shows out here.
yeah, because I was gonna book a few shows over in the East Coast this year. Or
There
sorry,
we go. We're back.
there
Hello.
we go.
It's just
Uh,
LA.
yeah,
It's LA. Anybody that comes on from LA buffers.
I swear. No, it's me getting calls from like random people. So I'm like, nah. But but yeah. So in I forgot where I was even talking about. Oh yeah, this year, yeah, I was planning in August. I was gonna go all the way to do like a little East Coast tour, starting in South Carolina and hopefully work my way up or down. And but COVID came through, knocked everything out, and hopefully, if I plan it for next year, then we can get rock and rolling.
Right on.
Know about
So
Virginia?
Virginia is yeah, man, it's huge. In Norfolk, we have a huge community.
Yeah,
And it's out there, and they're not afraid. I mean, there's sections of Norfolk that is known to be a stronghold, and if you come in there with bigotry, you can get your ass whipped. I mean, it's just straight up. They don't fuck around here.
yeah, they don't.
No, so they will come over there. I've seen people as an Uber driver. I have seen people get their ass tore up just
Oh,
to,
I can
yeah, and
imagine.
I'm like, y'all just ignorant as hell. It's just time for you to just go over to wherever the hell bar you need to go to, and
Right.
stop fucking with
That.
these people. So
Yeah.
yeah, it's a big community here. So we're comfortable with that, and we like to go out and have a good time. So, um,
That's
you
all
know,
love.
it would be great for you to come out there. I have, I'm a chronic smoker, 2.5 packs a day, so I don't think I'm going to make the LA flight anyway. I probably, it's not
Yeah.
going to be good.
Yeah, I mean, if Rona wasn't coming through, I'd say give it like 3 days and it'll grow on you here. But since it's COVID, everything shut down. Like I got family and friends that want to come here. I'm like, don't. It's too much. Like all I've been here is in my apartment, just chilling ever since. So,
Matthew, you probably pay about $9,000 a month
woo,
for an apartment. I pay $1,200 for a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath townhome with 1,600 square feet.
I see. I would kill someone to be able to pay $1,200 for my rent. Don't get
So
me started on what a one bedroom is here. Shoot.
yeah, there's no desire, man. I'm 40 tomorrow. You think I give a
Oh,
fuck about coming to LA?
uh-uh.
You don't, no. Yeah, I'm too
What
fucking old.
what I always tell all my buddies, because like I got buddies that like they'll move out here, and like they won't go here for entertainment. Like they'll just move out here just to move out here. And I'll always ask them, I'm like, why are you coming here? They're like, you live here. What did it? I'm like, if you're not coming here to be a musician or an actor or whatever, I'm like, you're gonna hate it to death. Like it's just one of the places where if there's no aspirations for any type of industry, like being making a music, film, whatever you want to do, it's gonna feel weird because I feel like it's what your passion is what keeps you here tremendously. And it's like the start out, like I remember when I flew out here for work when I was under my old label, and my Uber driver warned me. He's like, LA is a place that will eat you up and spit you out if you're not careful. And I'm like, what do you mean? Whatever. Like I'm
Right, I'm
like,
from Minneapolis.
yeah, right. Like my rent in Minneapolis is 700 for a 2 bedroom. I'm chilling, like no problem. I'm like, what do you mean? A one fucking bedroom was gonna be $2,100 a month. God, nobody warned me on that shit. So I'm
No,
like,
man, that's crazy. I couldn't even begin.
no,
So yeah, I have no desire. I mean, if it comes down to it, where there's signings or whatever, I know Lizzie said that she'd love me to come out for Fashion Week. I do clothing designs, and
oh yeah.
yeah, so I have a clothing line, and I'm like, yeah, that's cool. I do shoes, but I probably am not going to fit in because I'm kind of like I have that upstate New York swagger. So it's kind of like if you're fake, I'm probably just going to push by you, and that's probably not a good idea.
No, see, it's interesting because like in Minnesota, the culture there is very passive, but in Morocco, the culture is very much how you're describing, like upstate New York, and it's just very much like we're just gonna speak our mind, and if you don't like it, sorry.
Yeah.
And I'll like be honest, I lost a lot of friends the first 3 years I was here. I'm like, I don't know. Do you want a friend that's going to lie to you, or do you want a friend that's going to be completely dead on honest? And yeah, and it's crazy. What part? Do you mind if I ask? What part of upstate New York? I used to travel to Rochester all the time.
Yeah, 90 minutes east. I'm in a town called Auburn.
Got it.
We're known for Old Sparky. We're the first electric chair. So when people
Okay.
get sent upstate,
Yeah, got it.
that's where I come from.
Whew, nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
because upstate reminds me of where I was living. At least Rochester, my experience there, remind me so much of like my hometown in Minneapolis.
Oh yeah.
Like right by the suburbs. Like I'm like, oh, suburban area, chilling. Like, yeah.
They don't give a fuck. Yeah,
They
no,
don't.
I'm interracially married, so when I go home, head's on a swivel, baby. Head
Oh
is
man,
on a swivel. I don't go home unless I got a knife on me. Ain't no way I'm fucking around, man. It's
not dealing.
dangerous.
No, no. But yeah, no. I mean, like, even if you came here with that New York swagger, I mean, people look at that and they respect it. I think a lot of like the realest people here, because like even living here, I've only lived here since geez, a little over four years, almost hitting 5. Um, I've just noticed like people come in and wow, like and they all go out for some reason. It's either they're like, oh, I didn't make it, or I didn't do it. A lot of people give up. I've learned, and so it's I always feel like there's a clear period whenever you meet someone like how long they're gonna actually. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't. My days of city dwelling are over. I
okay,
have
touch.
no.
I'm getting to that point.
So, what new stuff do you got going on? I mean, I know that Sami and some of the other chorus members are currently doing some projects. What are you doing?
Yeah. So, rewinding probably back to 5, 6 years ago, I was under a label and I wrote a list of songs. And usually, whenever you're writing songs for a label, or every experience is different, but for mine, it was I was writing songs for either me or to license them out to someone else. And I have a list of all the masters from the songs that they approved and all the masters they didn't approve. And it's weird because I'm looking at I actually when I bought my new computer, I plugged in my old hard drive from back in the day, plugged it in, and I was like looking through all these songs. I'm like, huh, like some of these were really bad, but some of these were also really good, and some of these were really, really bad. You as a writer probably can relate. Like you look at it and you're like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's called Blood and Whiskey. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, literally, amen. But like, yeah, just looking through it and then just like, what the hell was I thinking? But it's like the idea around it, whatever that art is, you're like, I could work with something here. And so a lot of it was me reclaiming after right now, it's like, all right, how can I reclaim all of my masters from this label? Because in my agreement at the time, it's like they own it. Um, and so long story short, I ended up reclaiming what I needed or the songs I wanted. And I spent most of quarantine remaking a lot of these songs. And so on the first, I actually am going to be shooting my next video. And yes, and hopefully I have a full rollout for almost all of end of 2020, most of 2021, with all new releases. So a lot of the behind the scenes kind of stuff I'm like waiting to announce, but like I'm also pretty open about it.
I know my wife had to correct me because I'm watching right now, outside smoking a cigarette. I just seen you live, and I said, man, how did they get that sound on the beach? And she goes,
Oh,
it's played in a studio, you idiot. And I
oh
was
yeah.
like, what do you mean? Isn't it? He's filming. And she's like, yeah, they sing along with it. They don't just sit there and rock out on a beach somewhere running around. How do you think his voice sounds like that? And I was like,
But it's crazy because like a lot of people when like it's something as an audience member we don't think about when we watch music videos. Like we're thinking they're doing everything live in action, right? And it's something that a lot of people. And it took me to have my realization and be like, oh my god, because geez, probably like I I want to say 10 years ago is when I had my realization of that. I'm like, oh, they're lip syncing. Yeah. Huh. Who would have known? Yeah, yeah, we recorded. We actually re-recorded right now. It was actually supposed to be released 2018, but we released it 2019. And the reason why is 2018, we recorded it. I had my vocal, and no, probably would have been April 2018, because in August 2018 I had a throat surgery,
Oh.
and October 2018 I had another throat surgery,
Oh.
And long story short, I had to go through vocal therapy, all this other whatever, and my range, even my speaking voice, is just like, imagine your range being like this, it ended up being like that, but after the surgery. And so, which is a blessing, because usually it's the other way around. Usually you lose vocal tone and vocal range after you have some type of throat surgery. And so, um, so after all the training or whatever, I I hired the same audio engineer. He's from New York originally, and went in and re-recorded the vocal, and then pushed it all back for Pride, and then yeah, and then had to deal with the two. I call it the 2 days of pure hell. Recording the videography of right now, because getting the piano on the beach and getting the movers and finding all the props and it was just like,
Think of that. I didn't even think of that. I'm like, he must, I'm like, Dolores, he must have just gone out there and the piano was there. Because how else did the piano get there? Somebody, it probably was there the whole time. And she's like, are you an idiot? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, they brought the piano out there. And I was like, why would they bring a piano on a beach?
Yeah, no, we brought a piano out there, and yeah, and it was crazy, because I actually kept parts of the piano. I think I can show you.
It's not, you took the piano apart?
Yeah, we took the piano apart because like it was all damaged. So like that's the top. Yeah. Oh yeah. When a piano's submerged in water, you ain't fixing the bitch. Like it's gone.
Was that the record company's piano?
No. So actually, believe it or not, that was I think I could share this. Yeah. There's this dude. He's a director. He wrote Gay Best Friend and Jawbreaker, which were like two shows way back in the day, or two movies. And so his brother, Evan, was the one who gave me the piano. Now, rewinding, I was looking at free pianos online on like Craigslist. Like, because if you to go on Craigslist now and type in free piano, you'll find a list of options.
Really?
And so I literally went to like piano viewing, whatever. It was like what you would do, like if you're buying a house, like you go to like check out the house. I did that with like these rankety ass pianos, and I'm like looking, I'm like, huh. I went to another one, probably saw like 7 pianos, and just did not click right away. So then I called my buddy Evan, and I'm like, yo, hey, I need to find a piano. Do you know anyone who's trying to get it? He's like, oh, my grandfather's piano. I think it was grandfather's. He's like, oh, it's just in my garage. You can take it off my hands. Well, long story short, I found out his grandfather, I think it was his or his great uncle or someone in his family.
Who gives a shit? Yeah.
Phobe. And now he passed. So the previous owner of this piano being homophobic, and now he's passed, and now they don't know what to do with the piano. So I'm like, let me just paint it like a rainbow. like all up in just like I'm wearing like, and it's funny because it was just like there's so many innuendo middle fingers to the whole scenario. Like for an example, my previous day job was Microsoft, way back, way back. And then I used to work for the corporate division, and then way back I worked in the retail division, so they gave me uniforms. So I'm like, I don't want to wear one of my nice shirts for while I'm painting this. So I wore one of my actual uniforms from there, and I'm here like painting this homophobe's piano with my previous employer T-shirt and all this other jazz, and just like getting paint on it and everything. Like I was just trying to flip as many middle fingers about everything that's going on, and I'm like, this is for a good cause. And but yeah, by the time they had to throw it out, I wanted to keep something from it, because what we wanted at the end of the video is there to be a bird's eye view of the piano and have it show the top of the piano, it being a rainbow. But unfortunately, we couldn't get the drone in time to actually shoot it. So I was like, well, Might as well. Yeah, I think in the video you can still see some angles where if you look at the top piano with like quick enough, you can see all the colors. But yeah. So other than that,
I don't know how busy you are. Is there any way, even after we finish this live, for you to do like a small rendition of the song? If we continue this live, is there any way for you to do that rendition right after this?
yeah. Let me double check because I know I'm supposed to have a few writers come through.
Okay.
In 4:30. But let me check on them real quick and just see what I can do. And I got you. Give me like
Okay.
1 second.
Sure. Sure. So yeah, if you guys haven't tuned in, the song right now is really really good, and I'm
Hey,
hoping we can get it. So
we go.
we're
Yeah.
good
So
to go.
we can do like the and then like extra 5 minutes or whatever. I can do my rendition for you.
Yeah, I mean, if you need time to get ready, we still got 15 on this, and then we can do the rendition after that.
Yeah.
I think it's a wonderful song, and if anybody doesn't,
Thank,
really they haven't heard it, then they need to tune back in and listen to it.
thank you.
So, what about some of the prevention issues that you're championing right now? Is there any groups that you're involved in that take donations or anything that people can do to help?
Yeah. So there's a few different ways. One, my biggest donation I'm very proud about is was geared towards the West Coast Singers, which is one of the oldest in the U.S. But alongside, I actually am releasing. I shouldn't say I am. I already have been releasing merch. That if 100% of all the net revenue from that purchase are being donated to either Black Lives Matter, like causes that focus around that, or LGBT groups, and so you can actually decide where your donation goes. Since there's not much of a leverage with revenue and merch. So I'm trying to figure out, I'm like, all right, where are these avenues of revenue that I can reposition for me and position it towards a lot of these other outlets that need it, right? And so definitely tremendously, um, merchandise is definitely going to be a big one. There's so many different organizations like the Trevor Project, It Gets Better. There's the LGBTQ centers. There's usually one in every state you can donate to. And then usually, like I mentioned, through my own merchandise, you purchase on there. You can put like in a note tab, or there's a donation page. Mark who you want your who you want your proceeds to be donated to, and we can make it happen. Because a lot of people they're like, I want to give back somehow, but I don't know who to give back to, and so a lot of it comes down to kind of took care of that heavy lifting for you. So
I'll DM you my number. I got a thread to pull on that. I think
yeah,
I think I can tune that straight to you. So
thank thank you. Yeah, because I mean, my biggest thing is like how many, like trying to find as many outlets as I can
mhm.
to donate to. Um, and a lot of them are like even the small ones. Those are the ones I'm most passionate in. The ones that are like they're going out of business due to COVID,
Right.
right? That are like running out of money because it's like I don't know what the hell's going on. Those are the biggest focus. Just as much like I'm more passionate in those too. The same way I'm passionate in like small, medium-sized businesses, right? A lot of the entrepreneur mom and pop shops. There's a good equivalent to that in the LGBT community for nonprofit organizations, right?
Right. So maybe we could get together and do a Zoom meeting and promote some of those,
Yeah,
and that
that'd
would
be
definitely help.
yeah, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, I have a small platform, but it's starting to take off. So I think we would definitely be definitely be down to help the cause. So
Yeah, thank you.
no
Appreciate that.
problem. So you know, what are you working on right now? I mean, you're brainstorming with writers, getting ready, or I mean, what's
Yeah.
what's a typical day for you once you're creating art?
Oh man, a typical day for me. It's so I'm such a big advocate in throwing shit to the wall and seeing what sticks. I think that's the best way of it. Like I could pull up a little beat, and a lot of my live streams are just me experimenting, right? Like me with my wine here at the table, and then just putting on a beat, and then just seeing what I can make out of it. And so a lot of the times in the lives, I like that I can be totally authentic. I can try different sounds and see what fails, and like the viewer can watch that. So when it comes down to there's so many different projects and so many different ways you can go about it, right? Right now, aside from like my own personal songs, there's three other artists I'm producing for. One of which is actually one of the artists I'm working with right now, and there's scoring opportunities, like scoring for short films. One thing I really want to leverage is going back into producing hip hop beats, which is like a weird, cheesy thrill of mine. Only because I used to do that for the labels I produced for. But now it's getting to the point where it's like, all right, I can license these out. I can try seeing what kind of low funded artists that might be really talented and see what I can leverage from there and see if we can do co-marketing. So it comes down to a bunch of different areas. I would say the top three, though, aside from my music, would be producing instrumentals. That's one thing I've been hence all my books in the back. If you ever see, a lot of them are like either production books or like workout or whatever. So it's a weird stack of just different knowledge. But score and eventually trying to score small and medium short films. And I would say the last one, like jingles. Just like, and there are different fields that to be honest, I'm not very comfortable in. So the fact that I'm uncomfortable with them motivates me to actually go after them, right? So I would say those definitely would be the three. I love writing with other people. I love being able to express myself. I'm so stubborn when it comes to writing that I find writing with other people being probably the most therapeutic in a way, primarily because it's like I don't play well with others sometimes, or I didn't, now I do. So writing definitely kind of helped out with that collaboration effort. And one words of advice that was given to me by one of my old mentors in Microsoft was collaboration doesn't mean that you guys have to agree with each other. The only thing that matters is that you guys are trying to achieve the same thing, right?
Right.
And biggest eye opening when it comes to collaborating, because I was kind of the person that was like, let me just do everything by myself. Hence the songwriting, the producing, all that jazz. But then when you're working with a team, it's like you can teach other people at the same time, might also be taught, right? So
I think that as a self-pub guy myself, I've talked to the traditionals, and one thing that they're very adamant about is having assigning you a cover and a narrator. I don't
yeah,
fucking think so, Jack. This ain't my regular job. Like, this is a hobby. So, like, I'll choose who the hell we're getting in. Oh, look, the Irish. So one of my narrators, Carl Haycock, just popped up. That's Blood and Whiskey, baby, right there. I'll send you a sample. My man is jamming with Blood and Whiskey. You can feel the bullets hit people with him.
yeah,
But basically, what they're saying is that they want all rights when you go traditional, right? Just like if you were in a traditional music scene.
right.
And no, I
No,
have my narrators
yeah.
and fuck
If
off.
it's a team that you trust,
Yeah,
always go for it.
yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not. My people in Minneapolis or in Mexico or in North Dakota. I'm not fucking around. Like,
no.
when that's the beauty of being my own boss, is that I can be stubborn.
Dude, I will tell you, when I left Microsoft to just go completely full time music, that was the one thing that really opened my mind. I was, wow, I can tell people no. I can tell people I'm good. Or I
Yeah.
can tell people, like, you can say you can shake hands or you can flip hands. Like, you can do one of those two. But by the end of the day, it's like there's a beauty in that. There's a beauty, and because you have freedom. You have freedom to create. You have freedom to work with the people you want to work. You have freedom to like execute the things you want to do, right? So like you like how you're mentioning, like, oh yeah, so oh we hired a narrator for you, and you're like, no, we're
Right
good.
there.
I swear, that's literally. I remember I was working for, after my main label, after I left them, I was working for a different label here, and there's a whole story in that. But long story short, they were like, "Oh yeah, we got what was it? We got someone to help choose your outfit," and I'm like, "My outfit for the last 5 years been all black,
Right.
like all black, like it's there's not much like." I don't know. They're like, yeah. And guess what they put me in? They put me in. I actually just did laundry, and I'll found one of the shirts. It's an all black T-shirt with polka dots on it, so it's like almost the same thing. It's not like a big drastic change. I'm like, if you're gonna take control, at least take control in difference.
Right.
Take control of creativity. But there's people that just want to control. There are, and it's. I feel like any industry, there's always these people who just want to control and control and control.
Yeah, I deal with that at work. I don't need to deal with that in my hobby. You know, and you know, another part of writing is, and we're getting ready to close out here, and you're going to do your song on the next live. But you know, they tell you who you can kill in your characters. They tell you who's coming and who's go. Not a
Thing.
Oh yeah, when they edit, when you go traditional, oh they'll say, "Can you change that to a black person? Can you change that to a woman? Can you not kill this character and make their arc longer?" No.
I mean, it's weird because when there's control in art, it's like, what's the point of art? Like, art to me is supposed to be free. Art to me is supposed to be the freedom behind it. Art to me is supposed to be like, you should be able to creatively express yourself or a story you have. And the second someone sets foot and says, "Oh, let me change this,"
Yeah,
it's like,
that would be like me calling you on the beach going, "Hey Matthew, I think that your D minor is supposed to be an F plus." I don't even
right,
know what I'm saying, but they pay me
right.
to say it.
Oh, I get that all of the time, and it's weird because I remember when I was learning music, one of my oh,
Am I going?
oh I think did it freeze? Did it freeze? Did it freeze?
Can you hear me?
Oh, let's see.
Can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, I can hear you now.
There we go. All right. So we've got
There
3 minutes left. Let's go
Hey,
ahead and get you ready. How long do you need to get ready?
let's see. Can you hear that?
I can.
All right, then I'm ready.
All right, great. So I'm going to log off and log back in. I'm going to save this video. I got to send it to Lizzie, and then I will be right back on.
Perfect. Sounds good. I'll see
All
you in
right.
a bit.
See you in a minute.
Peace out.
Okay, guys. So up next, we're going to have a small mini one. I don't know if anybody can still see me, but he'll be playing the song right now, which is a really beautiful song. So please log back in. If you stayed the whole time, I really appreciate you coming out. And this is DB Bray, the writer. Ooh, wait.